On to you Scorpios out there. Hope y'all are having a great day. So you Scorpios have the Empress, the Five of Swords, and you have the Ace of Swords. So sorry about that. Whenever it is that I get the stuff happens. Whenever it is that I get the Empress and the Five of Swords, these two cards have me think about someone who believe themselves to be a little bit too up on their high horse. They believe themselves to be someone that's too caught up with their high horse. No, I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that. Every time I have the window open, there's always some nonsense going on outside, right? It can never just be smooth. But anyway, it can never be smooth. It's like it's desperate for attention. But anyway, I'm looking at outside, but I closed the curtains. Anyway, for you Scorpios, I'm thinking about somebody who thought of themselves as being very much so up on the high horse. And this is what you Scorpios are thinking about, not just this particular person. Yes, you've experienced this person being up on their high horse, but you Scorpios also understand that that's how a lot of people are thinking, unfortunately, in general. They believe themselves to actually be greater than what they really are, while at the same time, the way that they come off and the way that they rub off on people is completely wrong, right? They really have made it a talent how to rub people the wrong way and to truly be disrespectful. But then they're up on the high horse. And it's like, it doesn't matter how great a person acts like they are, right? If they keep running around and making problems, then they're going to have people that don't like them, that don't want to be around them, that won't prosper, that won't help them prosper. In any situation, they'll be on their own. And the Ace of Swords represents a lot of you Scorpios are looking at the dating landscape in a general sense, like, okay, what does that mean for you, right? Like, if so many people seem to think of themselves as being greater than what they are, what does this actually mean for you? How does this impact you? And a lot of you Scorpios are thinking about it from a panoramic view. To be honest with you Scorpios, the truth is that a lot of people really got to get off of their own ego. A lot of the times on both sides, they're on a high horse. They're on a high horse. They have this delusion of grandeur that they're this wonderful person. And it's like, no matter how great we strive to be, no matter how great we are, we're not as great as our ego will kind of tell us that we are. So we have to understand to, no matter what the situation, still be humble. No matter how great of a person you are, no matter what you've accomplished, still keep an open mind, still be humble, still be that person to still learn, and don't think of yourself as being too big for your britches, no matter how great you are. And a lot of people, they have problems with that. They have problems understanding that too much ego is a path of dysfunction. And after dysfunction, total spiral. So, deeper and deeper into the gutter. So the thing is that the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups is about, so a lot of you Scorpios know that you want to find somebody that's a good match for you, but like you're having a problem with how to interact with someone that actually is a good match. And the truth is, the Three of Swords, like I said, in the Five of Cups, right? So look, the truth is this: there's going to be a lot of sad people out here who, especially the more time goes on, there's going to be a lot of people who are in this world who are going to learn the hard way that when you run around taking people for granted, especially decent people, there's not enough. I ain't gonna say not enough, but there's decent people are not the majority. They're the minority. As they've been the minority historically for hundreds to thousands of years, right? The individuals that are willing to do the right thing. So there's going to be a lot of people around, right, who are alive, right, who will have to learn things the hard way, because people don't want to learn how to appreciate the small things. They don't want to take the time out of their day to take just a minute of silence to appreciate the things, the people that are in their life, the things that they have, the position that they're in, and to just appreciate everything that they have. They don't want to do that. There's been countless times, Scorpio, where how many times have I stood here on this channel and I've talked about how someone will lose a good thing or a good person if they don't appreciate it. And what is it that some people still do? They still think that if they don't appreciate the individual, they think that they will, they think that if they do not appreciate the individual, then the individual will stay with them or be allegiance to them. And that's not how it works. You know, that's not how any of this stuff works. You know, what you have is a person that you've had to swindle into being loyal to you because they lack closure, or you had to scare into being loyal to you. But is it real loyalty where it's something that they get a chance to actually, you know, choose to do? People don't want to be disrespected. You know, I'm not saying that you have to blow smoke up, you know what I'm saying, or you blow smoke. But what I am trying to say is that you do have to respect them, you know. And the thing is that the Eight of Swords and the King of Swords is about how, and you Scorpios understand this because you know what it feels like to be disempowered, right? You getting to know people and they don't appreciate you and they disrespect you, and you feel like in a moment that there's nothing that you Scorpios can actually do. Only sometime later, when somehow you able to claw your way through it spiritually, and you reinvent yourself and you accept the fact that that this situation was terrible for you, and you learn to actually make yourself beautiful out of that wild situation, is when now, right, you regain your power back. You know what that feels like. So because you Scorpios understand what that feels like, guess what? It means that also, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand what that's like, right? Like, they understand it, but they haven't actually learned to heal from it in the way that they should. It becomes much more of a, I got to get back at somebody kind of thing, more than I have to embrace the discomfort of what this meant and how to actually grow from this. So what you have is you Scorpios are getting, who've been listening to this and who's been doing the shadow work, you Scorpios have been getting better, but it doesn't mean that other people have been getting better. It still means that there's a chance that they are getting worse, and the majority are getting worse. It's just that for you Scorpios, you just have to understand that the people who do not take the time to appreciate somebody who plays games, they're not your significant other. They're not relationship material. This is how it is that I judge a person that I'm getting to know. It's either they're relationship material or they're not. You know, a person who I'm supposed to be courting is not gonna have a problem, or should not have a problem, with going 50-50, because they are supposed to understand that obviously they are an adult, which means that, you know, they're not going to become a dependent. Like, what is this ideology that now that, you know, they've been paying for everything the whole time, but as soon as they get themselves into a relationship that will offer up help, and they're supposed to be help to the person, now all of a sudden they want to kick their feet up and go on vacation? Makes no sense whatsoever. So that's how it is that I judge people, right? As far as relationship material, among other things, of course. And guess what? I'm just like, look, if the person is doing this, I'm at a point where I don't even necessarily judge the dysfunctional people anymore. I'm more so judge the people covering it, talking about, look at this wildness, and making it seem like, who keeps highlighting this type of nonsense, right? So the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, you Scorpios really should be judging people as far as relationship wise, romantic relationship wise. Is either relationship material or not? You know what I'm saying? Relationship material or not. That's how it is that you'll go about judging. Because anybody who wastes your time, it's not relationship material. I don't know why people think that that's going to be attractive. But it doesn't work, and all it does is I just get switched off like a light switch. Like, oh, okay, all right, okay. This person's going to do that. Okay. Cool. Let me move on and talk to somebody else. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me stay in the dark, build my money, keep stacking so I can, go overseas and set up my lifestyle over there, because it's wild. So now the world represents how a lot of you are Scorpios as well. You'll have to guard yourself, because what I'm saying here is that you Scorpios are trying to literally come up with a plan. Like, how do you date? What is the easiest way for you to do that? How do you actually date? And the truth is that, and I've talked about this, the truth is there really is no particular set way that you can date. You have to learn to be very much so flexible. When it comes to getting to know other people, you should really look at it like relationship material or not relationship material. Whether it's friends, romantic, are you building a spiritual bridge with this person, a connection, or are you not? If a person is worth building a connection with them, right? Their value systems speak to that. Not just about you benefiting them, but their value system will speak to that. They will have integrity. They will want to do what's right. See, doing what's right is not just about getting a reward. Doing what's right is the wanting to actually do it because it's the correct thing to do. So, and then that affects your life and the other person's life, and they affect their own life, and it affects your life as well, right? Because you're sharing it with them. So there's no real set particular way for you to actually date. Honestly speaking, that comes within time and experience. For instance, I'm the type of person that likes to essentially get to know the person who I'm talking to and get to know alone. I'm the type of person that likes to essentially get something established by trying to figure out what exactly is going on, and there's ways to actually do that, right? So the thing is that the Ten of Swords and the Three of Wands right here, it speaks to how, because if you don't have a plan, if you don't know your personal style of how you date, it's going to make it harder for you, and it's going to make it easier for other people to give you a hard time. For instance, I don't like it when people waste my time. I like to usually hang out with people by themselves. I don't really like to hang out with people in these crowds and all of that. I try to stay away from crowds. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the person who I'm talking to knows these people. It's like, okay, leave your posse at home. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all may be laughing, but it's the truth though. Leave your posse at home. It's like, I'm trying to get to know the person so individually. So they posse and all of that, leave the posse at home, right? I don't want to spend too much. The less I spend, the better. Because I'm building something for myself, and my life's work matters to me more than the person who I may be going out with at that time. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. So that person has to understand, like, hey, I'm on the come up, and they have to respect that. And hanging out doesn't always have to, you don't, it's not like a credit card. Like, when we hang out, right, it doesn't every single time I must spend some form of money. I have to. If I don't, then I'm just wilding out here, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. If a person shows me their loyalty, if I see their loyalty, which can only come in time, I will reward them for it. And it's not transactional. It's something that it is a manifestation of my appreciation and my love for them. So, these are some traits of my style. When you don't understand a style, see, the problem that a lot of people are having, and I'm gonna start clarifying some of these cards, right? Because that's it for the main 10. But part of the reason why a lot of people are having a problem nowadays is because there's honestly speaking, the waters are murky. People are going out on these dates and they're trying to be transactional on the one hand, but then they're trying to make it seem like it's not. And it's like, listen, the best way that everybody can get what they want is that they have to approach the situation from a realistic perspective. Stop telling people that it's pay to play, right? Because you'll hear that on some of these podcasts. Stop telling people that it's pay to play, but then you want a relationship. When you say that it's pay to play, you know what that means. So you need to embrace that. If that's what I don't suggest that you do that. I wouldn't even tell anybody that that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, I would suggest people, I'm trying to walk people out of doing that. Don't do that. Not only do I not suggest you doing that, I don't condone in it. But if you're going to do that, stop trying to muddy the waters, because this is part of the reason why a lot of times relationships don't be working. You're trying to get to know somebody and you're trying to figure out what exactly is the person's problem exactly. Like, why is it that this person just can't seem to get on the same page with you? They talking to you and they all up in your face talking to you and everything like that. But then at the same time, even though they talking to you and they up in your face or whatnot, it's always this undeserved disrespect, and you don't understand where it's coming from. It's because you gotta buy them something or so. And then when it comes to relationships now, there's confusion, and I hope YouTube don't hit me for that, but it's confusion even with that. And because people don't know if they want to do 50-50, they want to act like everything is going back to the 1950s where people need to get married, all this type of, and it just sounds goofy, to be honest with you, because it's like, look, both sides are, if you're going to be dating, it's only common sense. There's no exception to this. If you are an able-bodied adult, consenting adult, right? It's only common sense that you should be in a relationship with somebody and pull your weight. To sit for it, it's so delusional to be like, yeah, I'm a grown adult and I'm gonna be in a person's life, but I'm not gonna contribute in any shape, form, or fashion. People are gonna look at that person like, yo, this person is like this person is wild, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Same thing when it comes to paying for stuff. It's like, why are so many people being so offended that they have to be an adult and actually pay for the things that they want? It's like, this is what happens when you reach of age. You have to start learning how to fend for yourself, right? So going out on a date where the two of you split the bill, Dutch, no one should have a problem with that, because you're literally doing the same thing that you already do, which is pay for your own stuff. So once again, like I asked in this reading, why now all of a sudden when it comes to you Scorpios, people now have, or anybody who is sane, right? How come is it that they've been paying for themselves the whole time? Now all of a sudden, when you Scorpios walk up and trying to date, they gotta charge you like they're charging a credit card every time that you want to hang out with them. It's always that you have to be the one paying. It's like, are we not both adults here? Like, what is the malfunction going on? So that's why I'm saying that 50-50 is the only way that relationships work. Because even in I have to get this off because I'm giving y'all a game. I'm giving y'all a real concrete understanding of how delusional people are not wifey, they're not husband, they're not relationship material. It's because of the fact that even when it comes to the whole 1950s and the old traditional type of air quotes, right? The traditional type of situations like that. The reason why it is that worked for a while is because of the fact that it was 50-50. One person went out and got the bread. The other person dedicated their whole remaining life to the person who was going out and getting the bread. So even though the person couldn't make up for it for their finances, they made up for it in their loyalty, their housework, their hard work, sweat equity, and every other kind and marital duties. So that was their version of the 50. This is what they could offer to their partner, to their significant other. Now that both sides are working, you can't shut down one half of this because it makes no sense. Because then at that point, it's not 50-50 anymore. You're trying to parasite off of me. So let's clarify the Three of Wands. I know I went on a long talk, but it really does have to do with the situation that you Scorpios are in and where and probably what some of you have been thinking. But I'm just giving vocabulary to it as well as the cards to have you get a better understanding of it, a more fleshed out, well thought out understanding of it. So to clarify the Three of Wands, you have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Strength, and then you have the Seven of Wands to clarify the Three of Wands. So the Four of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles right here is about how, yet again, a lot of people are going to be very dissatisfied with how their dating, their romantic life is. And you Scorpios are going to be quite happy with it because you're protecting your energy from people who want to essentially drain it out of you, and not in the fun way. You know, you see the usury and why you should stay away from it, and you know how to actually give vocabulary to it, right? So the thing is that the Nine of Wands and the Strength and the Seven of Wands right here is about how, and some people obviously are still going to be caught up with the, you know, they want this, that, and the third mentality. But the Strength and the Seven of Wands represents you will be able to see them very soon if they are trying to run that on you, and you can see it, and you will have the option now to see it very clearly to where you can stay away from them. Because part of what I'm seeing here for you Scorpios is that you had trouble actually like being able to bring some sort of definition to it, bring some sort of understanding to make heads or tails of it. And now that you Scorpios actually are being able to make heads and tails of it, you have power over it now. You see, it took me a long time to make heads and tails of it, heads and or tails of it, because, you know, I didn't understand exactly what was going on. I knew, because I didn't come from that household. I know that both parties are supposed to put in work. So it was a phenomena to me to watch at how a group of people, grown, able-bodied individuals, right, are talking about I'm talking about being a teenager coming up into a grown adult, to see how some of my counterparts, right, whether it's I'm hanging out with them or whether it's I'm getting to know them romantically, right, talk about things from an unrealistic, delusional perspective about what they want and everything like that, right? They want X, Y, and Z and everything like that. But then at the same time, it's this notion of, well, this person better give it to me. This widow spider type of mentality where it's like, this person better give it to me, and they better, and you know, because I deserve this. And it's like, okay, but you have to understand that deserving is supposed to build a bridge. There's supposed to be a connection between hard work and deserving. If a person says that if you get a job and you work 40 hours a week, sometimes more, you deserve the paycheck. Why? Because you put your hours in, time out of your life on the front end. So you deserve to get this because you work for it. So the deserving, right, is a direct connection to the merit, the actual work that you put in. So it's really, you know what I'm saying? So it's really wild to see how a group of people who will talk about what they deserve don't actually put in any kind of sweat equity whatsoever. They haven't done anything, but they talking so loudly about what it is that they deserve. I deserve this. And it's like, but what? Okay, you deserve that. But what are you going to bring into a person's life that will create that deserving of that will match that deserving of that will actually merit that will say, yes, this person deserves this because this person has done that. And then you just hear a bunch on both sides. You just hear a bunch of fluff. You just hear a bunch of hyperboles and misnomers. Oh, well, I deserve this because X, Y, and Z. But what are you actually doing, though? I'm talking about what value are you transferring, from yourself to the other person, that the other person is gaining in order to say that you deserve this because you put and you bring value into their life. You don't hear anything. So it's a real wild dating pool now where there's a lot of delusional, a lot of out of their mind delusional people who really have this deep seated, strong, rooted delusion of grandeur where they think that they deserve all of this and all these goofy talking points. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Overall, Scorpio, you're going to survive this. You're going to do well even in the chaos, because at the end of the day, you Scorpios, y'all have the eyes to see. Y'all are going to see this coming from a mile away, and you're not going to fall for this. Please, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, okay? I don't have a defined number. So I'm just trying to grow my YouTube channel. Right now I have 13,400, around 13,400. Anyway, please smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. And also too, there's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading, birth chart reading, the books that I have that are on Amazon, as well as the merch. Go ahead and get the merch. Peace.